of 2023, it is showing a very turbulent energy throughout the year, and there is a lot of major events which will be taking in many different countries. There will be civil unrest. 2023 is the year of civil unrest. And there will be economic crisis, and this economic crisis in many countries, this will trigger this civil unrest in many countries. And the countries that, which is involved in this energy is Germany, I see, and France.
Особенно я вижу, что вовлечены
Italy and USA. And in the Middle Eastern, Italy and USA. There is an upcoming energy which is already boiling right now. And seeing in the Middle Eastern country is that they're going to be an outburst of revolution in some form is going to take place. Israel will be involved in some of this conflict. There is an energy tie between Iran and Israel where there is a potential possibility of a conflict is very much possible to happen in this year 2023. What I see is that for the country Ukraine, the outcome of this current issue is that Ukraine will be wrecked.
К сожалению, для Украины.
And what I also see in this battlefield, there will be so many players will be playing behind, which means they will not be declaring any form of any kind of official declaration. And in the battlefield, when Ukraine is going to be wrecked, this will be directly affecting the United States. You know, the power that it has hold on the global scale on many sectors.
И сила распространяется.
This will be only in decline, so there is no need for them to fighting to hold on to this power anymore, because in the energy chart, whatever energies are being influenced, this is what is going to take place in the 3D world. We also be deceived. What you see, there is some temporary success which is moving to United States, but this energy it will not be sustaining for a long term. And also in this year 2023, there will be a huge inflation crisis. And as you all know, the world economic capital, it is in the Wall Street, so we're going to see a huge drama in this year 2023 in the Wall Street. Energies are showing that there will be a lot of turbulent events and unexpected events which is going to cause this chaos, and this is going to directly affect euros. And the energies of European Union, I see, unfortunately, it's not a very good sign for this year 2023, because they are moving in the direction where there is a huge pit and many things will be falling apart. This is going to be one of the most chaotic years that they have witnessed.
Энергия показывает, что 2000.
And this what I'm talking about, it's also, you know, this is about on the political sphere, but also natural disasters are very huge, which are upcoming in this year 2023. And the humanity will be witnessing cyber attacks in this year like never before. From the third month of this year 2023, the whole of the economic system, it is showing they're going to be a very shock wave which is going to come and hit the economic system.
Чтобы Archana поподробнее, what will be about climate disaster or natural disaster on the planet?
In this year 2023, there will be a lot of floods, unexpected floods which will be taking place.
В 2023 году
For United States, I see some of their cities will be hit by this natural event. And this year 2023 will be bringing this stable energy which will be hitting United States. And there will be a lot of fires which will be hitting certain countries. And I see for Australia there is a very unfortunate natural disaster which is upcoming too. And also there is some energy vortex in the Middle Eastern countries, very unexpected, like hailstorms. Of 2023 is also helping for many volcanoes to erupt. There will be a huge it's not a tsunami,
Japan.
but it's like the energy of tornado with winds, where many things will be blown away in this. When I look at the global scale, the energy of the earth, I do not see that there is a peaceful energies anywhere in the world, because there is so much of contribution right now for this chaos to take place more and more, because so much of this old energies has to be released. And there is also the artificial sickness which will be taking over the humanity, unfortunately. And there is also preparation for the use of biochemical weapons which are already in the plan right now, and we're gonna witness this in this upcoming year.
Россия увидит много перемен.
A lot of internal changes will be happening in this country. Is that after March 2023, they will be threatening on the humanity. It's going to create a lot of havoc and chaos. And what I also wanted to bring into your conscious awareness is that there is no any time soon that we're going to see this chaos is going to end, because this is not natural. That is the second half of the year. I see that United States, again, she will be entering into this the energy cycle of karma. The karma of war is returning back to the United States. And what we're also going to be witnessing is that there is going to be a historic transformation of the European Union.
So I wanted to express my own views on the next year, how I feel already this year is going to happen, and I want to comment on the psychic who predicted certain pandemic back in 2018. There are psychics who predicted all of this, including in Russia. If you told somebody like in 2018, 2016, 2017 that a couple years ahead everybody will be wearing masks and there will be sanitizers everywhere and there will be in quarantine, nobody would believe you, but this is what happens, and there are on records predicting it. So some psychics, including this one, could really see this. So she is at least by 60-70%, maybe 80, she is correct. She turns out to be correct. But again, she said that she saw that Donald Trump would be president again, and now we just see the suppression of this energy really, really hard. And she just said that she sees that he will have a second term, and I don't know. And I also believe that he will be the only hope. And my other comment is that what is happening now as we speak is that a lot of Polish people, this is a country, Poland, in Europe, are being drafted, and they are running from the country now, and there are huge traffic jams of cars. So over 100,000 have left the country already, and they are heading to UK mostly. And I wanted to say that they also have been building before that happened, before this draft happened, they were building cemeteries in Poland. And those cemeteries, they were built in a style for that, like the US style, American style cemeteries. And Americans, especially military ones, they have this style to their cemeteries where lots of people packed densely at one place. So also in New York, they pay attention. They have just, the governor of New York, they have just rumored to submit the law where you can utilize dead bodies and just bury someone in their garden, on your own property, and just obtain some permit from the government, some that says that you don't have anything toxic in your body that you submitted, and you can bury them in your garden, in your property. So coming back to Poland. So before that draft happened, they started to build those cemeteries, American style cemeteries. And they said that this was for Polish people, but because they are planning to seize some of the property, some of the land from Ukraine, which used to be theirs historically. And I actually believe that they built this cemetery not for Polish people. I believe they are building this cemetery in Poland for American military. So the difference is that in Slavic countries, they have these cemeteries where you have this like a cross, and you have like a fence around the grave, and there are usually relatives buried on one side, and there is a fence, there is a bench where you can sit next to, there is a tradition to light a candle on the grave, bring food like candy to the grave. And so in my opinion, they already know, because the Secret Service, again, they work through psychics, and they definitely have better psychics than we have access to, and they work through magicians, and they know in advance what is going to happen. So what I see is happening, I personally view this as that there will be another conflict over there in Eastern Europe, and this conflict will involve war between, or some kind of conflict between Turkey and Poland. So they are trying to divide all these influences, sides, and I believe that there's going to be even more terrible for Europe conflict, which is going to be between Turkey and Poland, and both are NATO countries, because they are like mafia now, and this is like mafia wars, and because of this conflict they have to divide what will go to whom, to what particular fraction, circles of power, the reptiles. So I think that it will all result in a conflict between Turkey and Poland, and that's where And that's where American troops will have to be involved. So anyways, another thing I wanted to talk about is that how you notice how careful she is in choosing the wording, the psychic, how she's very careful in choosing the wording, and how she blames US in this sickness, world sickness, although if we look at who died the most, US suffered the most loss from this sickness, and Russian military generals were talking about MI5 and MI6. MI5 is a foreign branch which deals with foreign countries of MI6. This is how I see it. So this is a British intelligence unit which does this covert operations. So she doesn't mention Great Britain in any of her predictions, and she doesn't talk about that. And you should think how they talk about they talk about how they constantly are being censored and their videos are being deleted, and I think this is why they have to arrange it in such a way. And I'm going to make another video about this US factor and its population factor in relation to this Sodom and Gomorrah thing. So another thing I wanted to mention was that if you rewind what she has been talking about, look how she said she talked about this sickness, and right after this she was talking about chemical bioweapons, because this thing is exactly what it is. It is a chemical weapon made in the lab, and the following year, this year and the following year, people, I think, will get very angry because they were forced to undergo certain procedures, and these procedures will prove to be ineffective because this will continue to happen and people will continue to die. And for me, as I said to you, to understand what this thing happened, you have to collect this whole thing of what alternative media says, what you think, what you have to base it on your own, what you see. You have to leave it all and just look at what you see happening around you and figure it out for yourself. So for me, I personally do not believe that, as I said, DNA doesn't exist. It's a fake stuff model they created on a computer, and they just steal money with this DNA stuff and they deceive people. And the same goes to viruses. In my opinion, viruses are created by pathogens which are poisonous to human or to animal nature, just foreign objects which are not supposed to be in you, which are toxic and have to do with radioactivity and something. When the transmutation happens, such as when a body starts to disintegrate, and this type of stuff, when it gets into your body, it provokes all kinds of reaction. And another thing I wanted to say, that virus to me is a frequency. So virus is a frequency, is a wave that provokes certain type of reaction in your organism. So for me, this stuff, virus and DNA, do not exist. And then if you put it out of your head, you have to see what's happening. So I heard one psychic who is like a born mathematician, Syriac Afghan from Iran. He was talking about how they this is like a two steps action. So it involves a pathogen, and it also involves a frequency, a wave, which is directed from space. So it either comes from meteorite, some pathogen from meteorite, or it is something that with which they, for example, they poison water with heavy metals. Then they use certain frequency, like a infrasound, ultrasound, electromagnetic waves, to activate what's already inside your organism. So anyways, when the psychics say something to you, you have to be very you have to see what they're talking about, because they have to be very careful, and you have to figure out a lot of stuff by themselves. So first she talks about this disease, and then she talks about how bioweapons are going, chemical bioweapons are going to, her saying it right next to each other, just one after another, means that this thing is a bioweapon. So in any case, I wanted to share that there is something that she left out, and this is, she was just talking endlessly about karma, but you have to figure out also what was left unsaid.